Hello, everyone. Welcome to Durrett's Take. It's that time of the week where I go over my headliners and reactions for each NFL game. So let's get started with the Thursday night football game between the Panthers and the Bears. My reaction to that is win-win situation. The good news is the Bears can win games, and because they have Carolina's first-round pick, as long as Carolina, finishes worst or second worst, then they can, get either Caleb Williams or Drake May. Now, if Carolina suddenly starts to rattle off wins, and then that's a concern, but I don't think that'll happen. Um, Colts versus Patriots. Patriots cannot find the replacement parts at O'Brien's. The run game was good, but the passing game was once again very ineffective, limited, weak, and all that. Despite Bill O'Brien being the coordinator there, which definitely shows as Mac Jones regressing. That pick he threw in the last couple minutes was just absurd. And they even turned to Bailey Zappi, and he throws a pick. So we'll see if Jones remains benched or not going forward. Texans versus Bengals. Houston, we're clear for takeoff. We are all seeing that the Texans have some juice to them, but to then go on the road and take down one of the hottest teams in the league in Cincinnati, even though having Higgins there for Cincinnati would have definitely helped. And Jamar Chase not 100%, but still, you did your part there. And now CJ Stroud continues to play well, and now he's making his case for being a top 10 quarterback in the league. Packers versus Steelers. Black and yellow is the way. It's kind of that Black Yellow song by Wiz Khalifa as well as singing there. But the Steelers didn't dominate Jordan Love like I thought they would. Um, but what they did do, this in the defense I'm talking about, is getting a lot of key stops and make clutch plays when they had to. Again, it seems like with the Steelers being 6-3, they're almost allowed to make the playoffs, which is crazy because they're not a 6-3 level type of team. So I need to see more to completely buy in. Titans versus Buccaneers. Did the Titans actually make a quarterback change? Rookie quarterback Will Levis was named the permanent starter going forward now, and after two solid outings, this third one was not so good. It kind of reminded me, it kind of looked like Tannehill was a quarterback with the way the game went. Now, like I thought, the Titans' O-line was demolished by Tampa's D-line, so Will Levis didn't have a lot of time to make plays, but with rookie quarterbacks, you will get those like hiccups, game or just bad games all around. So if you're the Titans, hopefully they don't panic if they have to go back to Tannehill because that's not the answer. Browns versus Ravens. Who let the dogs out? I did not expect the Browns to force Lamar into multiple picks, and I definitely did not expect Deshaun Watson to start looking like he was a little bit before he was out. Now, we'll say Watson for 2 games in a row has started off very poorly, but credit to him for getting a rhythm towards the end of games. But the Browns are showing that, they are definitely in the playoff conversation, especially with that defense. 49ers versus Jags. There's the 49ers back to being purdy. Notice when the 49ers are coming off the bye week, they have let tackle Trent Williams back. They have star wide receiver Deebo Samuels back, and the defense goes back to being dominant. Purdy now looks like he did prior to the losing streak. This is why I was not worried about the 49ers heading into the bye week. Now, if they had laid an egg or something in this game, then I would be, but I was not worried. While there can still be questions about how far they'll go in the postseason, they will definitely be fine throughout the rest of the regular season, assuming they remain healthy. This was a very disappointing game there for the Jags, though. So shows they're not a top 5 contender quite yet. Saints versus Vikings, the Dobbs effect. Well, I know I said once rookie quarterback Jaren Hall returns from concussion protocol, he should get his starting job back because Minnesota drafted him. They need to see what they have in him to see if he could be the future because Dobbs not the future, especially if they re-sign Kirk Cousins. But with the way Dobbs is playing, they're going to continue to roll with him. I understand, and I frankly understand. It's sad to lose a job due to injury, but I understand it. So we'll see how hot this Vikings team can remain going forward. Because if it ain't broke, don't fix it. Falcons versus Cardinals. Welcome back, Mr. Murray. Kyler Murray led his team to a game-winning field goal, and he didn't even look too rusty in his first game back. I guess Arizona with the win, and assuming they get one or two more, will definitely take themselves out of the Williams-May sweepstakes, and they may just be fine with Murray going forward. Lions versus Chargers. Lions are taking over LA. The Lions did what they want on offense, and with the way with the win, they remain in the race to try to get that number 1 seed in NFC. Giants versus Cowboys. Can't find the Giants. Too many lambs. CeeDee Lamb is continuing his hot streak right now, once again, going for over 100 yards and a touchdown. The connection between him and Dak right now is really good, and hopefully for Cowboys fans, it can stay that way for as long as possible. Commanders versus Seahawks. Pete Carroll knows how to be in first. The Seahawks have been first in a lot over the past decade or so, especially with Russell Wilson as the quarterback. But with this win, the Seahawks remain ahead of the 49ers right now for the division lead. Although we'll see when they play twice, we'll see how that goes. But the good news is, unlike previous games, quarterback Geno Smith actually took care of the ball and it made a real difference in the world having no turnovers. Um, Jets versus Raiders. The Raider way. Of one of the main reasons they have Antonio Pierce as the interim coach and having him audition to be the full-time coach is because he, even though he was never a Raider, he understands the Raider way, which is what Josh McDaniels never understood. While they have faced bad offenses in his first 2 games as coach, I could easily tell that the players respond to him, and he is looking more like a permanent replacement. If they could just remain in the wild card race by week 16 or something, then you would have to promote him to full-time coach. You don't want to make the same mistake you did last time you had an interim coach who did well. Um, and then last night's game between the Broncos and Bills. Bills Mafia didn't get to ride the Broncos. After a bad performance last week, Bills fans were hoping this was the game they kind of turn things around and get back on track. Wrong. Bills had 4 turnovers, and despite that, was still going to win if the coach knew how many players were on the field when the Broncos missed the first field goal attempt. Now, they have to face a defense next week that makes Josh Allen look silly a lot. Um, so we so pretty much that one was very important because now if the Bills lose again, then they're pretty much out of the playoff race at this point, which is crazy to think about. They already fired their offense coordinator, Ken Dorsey, which is interesting. But since he's fired, that means Sean Durrett potentially might be next, if things don't get better. So thank you very much for listening to my podcast today. Please subscribe to my channel to learn about me. I'll go over my college football and NFL predictions for next week later on in the week. And then keep in mind, the NBA season is going pretty interesting so far. Continue to watch that. So I'm college basketball, having a full week under its belt. Continue to watch that as well. Thank you very much, and y'all have a wonderful day.